Right, hey everybody, it's UmbraRays here today doing a talk about this here update here that we got in-game. This June 2025 updated information that dropped about 5 p.m. Japanese Standard Time. Don't rightly know why I'm talking like a cowpoke, but maybe it's the Albertan inside me. Alright, let's talk about the June update. So regarding the notice, there's some interesting stuff here today. Most of the information, of course, is a little bit subject to change. At least that's what we're finding out here. So first off, the main event, OVA for Mobile Suit Gundam 0083 Stardust Memory has been going on. Not too much else, but should be noted in here that shared to all the players who filled in the player survey, the amount of attainable diamonds has been adjusted. I don't know if it's quite been adjusted enough yet, but anyway, moving on. So talking about that, we of course know about all of this. The new thing, first off, is the map event. Map event is a new event that'll be happening in mid-June. And what is it? Well, a map event is in which players will face off against a boss on a map whose spaces are full of battles. Sure, boost items and many other surprises are there. Requires PP points to be challenged. So, okay, not too terribly much here. Now, we can see that we will get some characters from this. There's a couple of characters already featured. So, event reward characters and supporter Quattro Reburba, Winner, and Dr. J, and the Peace Million will be obtainable from this event. Not really much else to say here. We can see a little bit of the battle. We can see the boosting of your forces. We can see Relena also on there, sure. And the acquired rewards. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what this event is like. This is a new event for us. Probably just a time filler / thing to do, but you know what? You do need those in these games. And I definitely am hoping for more content in this game rather than less content, which is why recently I've also started playing UmbraRays here on my Switch. And more videos of those will be coming in the near future. Alright, yeah, so in this event you can get SSR character Quattro Roberto and an SSR supporter. That's kind of nice that they're giving a free supporter away for maybe some players like myself who could use still some actual supporters because, you know, Gacha hasn't been super lucky and we're saving our resources for something. Limit rate to maximum through the event. Next up, limited time tracks added. Players are now able to enjoy Plasma from Mobile Suit Gundam Quux and Stardust Memory tracks for a short little while. Also sharing the Eternal live stream, which aired prior to the release of the game, we are considering the idea of putting on sale a music track pack. Further details will be disclosed as soon as possible. Given that I have recently returned to UmbraRays and that custom BGMs are actually a thing that is possible in that game, it'd be kind of nice if you could adjust the BGM for certain characters. It would be a nice little interesting thing. I'm not too sure about putting it on sale. I'm guessing they're looking for extra revenue, but you know, the game's already pretty successful there, guys. I would like to actually see more content before you start asking for more money. Maybe just my opinion, but such as it is. As for the future plans, this is the interesting thing, I think. So June, we have the Stardust Memory story event, which is where we are right now, the map event, which is coming up. And it looks like we have a live stream in late June. But other than that, there doesn't seem to be much else in the way of content for this month. The story event, Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt December Sky, as said down here, has been delayed to mid-July, which is a little disappointing. A couple things that I think are really important to note here. There isn't a reason for it, it's just delayed. And I am a little concerned that, you know, content getting delayed out is not what I want to see right now. I'm not entirely... I wish that they would have explained a little bit more because I'm kind of sick of lack of explanation by content, by the, you know, the game makers. I get it. Things happen. I get it. There are bugs and whatnot. But just saying, well, it's delayed, we're sorry, kind of sucks. It would be nice if we knew a little bit more of what's going on. But maybe that's the point. They don't want us to. Either way, a story event being knocked out later is a cause of concern for me, because right now I'm finding that the game just doesn't particularly have that much content, and it's fine from a gameplay or sort of role, and because there's plenty of other great video games out there to play right now and things to do. But it is a little bit sucky for a content creator to have essentially nothing to talk about for long stretches of time, which is definitely this right now. As for adding main stages, Gundam Seed Destiny will be added, it looks like late June, early July. But at the very least, we are going to have a live stream in the later part of this month. It'll be interesting because that was pretty fun to live stream last time, and I'm looking forward to live streaming it this time. But yeah, if this kind of starts becoming a regular thing where story events and content keep getting postponed out, that's a little cause for concern that they can't quite deliver on the actual content schedule. And I'm curious as to what it is, whether it's the animations for units or whatnot, because that would give us a much better idea as to why things are being delayed and like where development challenges are, because you think that it wouldn't be that hard to put out maps and whatnot. And if it was a thing of just being like, hey, it's hard for us to do like entirely new Gundams and a ton of machines, maybe you guys should have focused a little bit more on the content that's already in the game. But I am throwing stones and not particularly at a good target right now. So anyway, the producer's live stream is scheduled to take place at the end of June. New information such as new works with scenarios that'll be introduced from July onwards will be revealed, and the details of such as dates will be announced at a later time. So we'll keep an eye out for that, and I'll definitely be covering it. Last thing I want to talk about in this video is regarding the future of Master League. So looks like they got a lot of feedback, 250,000 feedback globally. We would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for playing the game and sending us valuable feedback, your feedback for the future things. But okay, 5 things. They list 5 things. And I think these are pretty close to what I talked about before. So number 1, player AI is stressful. Number 2, during development, there should be ways for units other than URs to play an active role. I absolutely fucking agree with this. This became a UR fest very quickly. And yes, some people did make some teams with some development units that were URs as well. But I think overall, it was probably more frustrating than it needed to be. There is a huge difference between strength and matchmaking. That is true. I specifically found about a 60,000 point difference most of the days, which felt like banging my head against a brick wall, which wasn't fun. Number 4, it is difficult to upgrade units fast enough. Yeah, the game hasn't been around long enough. People don't have a ton of resources. And some people's who, you know, it's great that people are finding strategies out there, but some people are like, yeah, just make it in the ultimate unit, you'll be fine. And it's like, I don't have the amount of gold or money needed to do that. Was frustrating as well. And the last one, which I also definitely commented on, if you reach 150,000 points early on, there's nothing else to do. Yeah, it's basically just a super disappointing that there's nothing left to do. But let's see the adjustments. Number 1, we received a wide range of feedback of AI. A frequent one, that weapons can be destroyed by the enemy or activated, but it's also stressful seeing weapons that cannot destroy the enemy being selected. Taking user playstyles into account, we plan to adjust this regarding the areas. Specifically, we plan to implement the following. Even on auto, the weapon can deal the most damage is preferably selected. I feel like that should have been done from the from the get-go. I guess if I'm to put my feet into the position of devs, they tried to make it more RNG so that the event would probably last longer, of just being like, hey, sometimes your characters use their damage skills and sometimes they don't, which is baffling. But I guess it was supposed to be the RNG aspect, but let's be honest, it sucked. And if the AI just not choosing the best attacks is also pretty stupid, since most players would not do that. And if there's no benefit to the other attacks, I don't know why characters would be doing that anyway. So it just feels kind of crappy. So good they're doing this, but probably should have been done sooner, or there should be some kind of customization to choose what you want your characters to do, rather than just dumb AI going. All right, next up, during development, there should be ways for units other than URs to be roll. We've received much feedback using the adjustments of strength, indifference, and matchmaking, and for ways for teams to creativity regardless of strength of units. In order to implement adjustments safely for all users, we kind of ask some time to consider. Basically meaning we're not going to do this right away. And to be fair, yeah, you should probably take some time, think about what you want to do, and then make those changes. But if you're going to take it too freaking long to actually make those changes, people are just going to get frustrated and bugger off. I think that this is something that needs to be done relatively quickly, and I don't think it should be that difficult. Set some special rules, do whatever you have to do, but make it more interesting. Furthermore, we recognize that stat upgrade tags in Season 0 were mostly on protagonist and rival, which included UR units. In response to this, from the event, we'll be adding more tags, which we mention later. Sure, I mean, I kind of hope that we weren't just going to get protagonist and rivals forever, but maybe it would be better if we kind of got one that's completely anti-protagonist and rivals to kind of change that. But the thing is that no matter what, you're always going to default higher to UR. So just the tags, I don't think, are the major issues here, so much as there just isn't much room for play and using your favorite units in this mode. So that still sucks. You'll notice that number 3, there's a huge matchmaking and difference in matchmaking. I guess they kind of talk about it here. Oh yeah, never mind. It is included in here. I think that these changes need to be made sooner rather than later, because at this point, the whales, they're in for the long run. They're financially invested in that. They're probably not leaving, and they are spending a ton of money. So if you're just going to get rid of the lower part of your player base by just not doing anything about for them, you're probably going to lose it, and this game is going to die off rather quickly, which, you know, is kind of funny seeing that it's labeled as eternal. Number 4 is difficult to upgrade units fast, blah, blah, blah. We received feedback, the difficulty and obtaining a high score during the event period, taking the playstyle of users into account. We plan to implement campaigns to help units upgrade units faster. This is nice and all, but it still probably is going to be well short of what it needs to be. It's just not super great to get enough resources to make the machines that matter. This is a compounding issue as well, where it's not just building units, but it's trying to build a bunch of units fast enough. And if it's just we're going to increase it from 3 to 5 for daily farms for a little bit, that's going to be woefully underwhelming for all of it. So I'm just going to say this. You need to think of something better, and you need to think of something better way sooner. And number 5, you reach 150,000 points. Yeah, we receive many feedback from players regarding things to do on the first day of the event. Therefore, after the arrival of Master League, we plan to implement a challenge mode for players who have reached 150,000 points. In challenge mode, players will be able to earn exclusive titles by achieving new high scores during the event period. Aside from the title, rewards will be the same as reaching 150,000 in Master League during the first event period. Achieving a higher score will be easier if you change opponents after a win, since each subsequent opponent will be stronger than the previous one. Also, we plan on increasing the number of times you can change an opponent from 3 to 5. This still doesn't feel very great if the system isn't helping you, but okay. Just RNG feels shitty from my experience. which chances you can change formation, and which you will be able to increase your chances to win. Yeah, we'll see. Thanks to everyone above who managed to reach 150,000 points. Will lead to even more entertaining Master Leagues in the future. That's a bit of a stretch for me. The thing is like, sure, this seems great that they are trying to push people into doing more in the league and keeping the whales engaged. But again, I feel like this should be a ranked event. This should be a point trying to get the highest amount of points you can possibly get, ranking style for that. Because that works so effectively in other games. It's so easy to bait these players into wasting a ton of time and money trying to get the highest amount of points imaginable. It's also just more interesting most of the time. Having those leaderboards and everything, I still don't think that this is the correct thing. This is a step in the right direction, but I feel like it needs to be a little bit more than just that. But the titles thing, yeah, that works. So yeah, regarding the next season, we all can see that it is a ground stage and a boost to the UC series and Tough as Nails. So it'll be starting around late June. So this is probably going to be a monthly thing. As a matter of fact, I'm a little surprised that we're already getting it. For all the talk of retooling, they seem very quick to push the next one out the door, but it is a pretty big diamonds, farming source at this point. All right. Anything else? Version 1.20, we plan to implement several changes for 1.20. Additional auto-form features. By choosing specific supporters, players will be able to auto-form formations boosted by the supporter leader skill. I think that's great, especially because in the game it's kind of hard to find this for new players, especially. So this will be just better for making better teams faster and making the game a little more autoable, for those who don't have a ton of time. Improved search of keyword and sort feature. Again, this is all just great. No complaints there. Improved character requests. In response to character requests, capture methods. We will be obtaining SP conversion chips. Following improvements with this, we will be able to obtain up to 20 SP conversion chips per week. I think this is a better upgrade. Character requests are kind of meh. So it'd be nice if they were a little bit better. Addition to request rank 6, where no capture requests would occur. I guess they'll be changing that. But anyway, so you can see the SP conversion chips to weekly rewards. It's basically, I think, fine. They're kind of just pushing it down and adding more rewards, which is great. And adding higher difficulty content, which again, sure, it's great, but I think we need more story modes as well, rather than just challenging content. Either that or there needs to be something that lasts a little bit longer. Either way, it's an interesting letter that we've had here to look into a bunch of information about what's coming in the future. I've included my own thoughts about this map event. We'll see what it's like, if it's fun. Future plans are a little concerning from where I'm sitting. Master League, it's a step in the right direction, but I think it needs to be a little bit better still. And as for future updates, well, I'm going to hang on to that and see if stuff gets delayed out. Either way, it needs to get improved. And so thank you so much for watching. See you next time.